Okay, we are back, man. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I got to set up a couple things. Tonight's topic, Pierre, Polievre, conservative leader, is living rent-free in Justin Trudeau's mind. Is now living rent-free in Justin Trudeau's mind. Laugh out loud. It's so true. You guys ready for it? I'll drop my call-in line if you want to call into the show. That is the link for you to call into the show. You're more than welcome to come join. So welcome to the stream. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I might have already said that. And let's go with it, man. Let's go with it. Okay, so let's play this.
And the housing advisor of the PM, Mr. Mike Moffat, said that it's the most audacious proposal for middle class housing ever proposed by a political party. Will he accept my idea? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, when the Leader of the Opposition was the Minister of Housing for Stephen Harper, he failed in his job. He only built 6 affordable housing units across the country. Now he's proposing a program that will cut transfers to municipalities and investments that we're making in infrastructure to build more houses across the country. It's cuts to programs and services that Canadians are counting on, that the Conservatives are offering, and we are investing to build homes across the country for Canadians.
Okay, if you're investing to build homes across Canada for Canadians, why are people so pissed off today? Make it make sense.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition, we're proposing to eliminate the GST on houses under $1 million. And this will save $25,000 on the purchase of a home, an average home in Quebec. That's a reduction of $1,000, $300 on mortgages per year. Will the PM send this money to his program? And even his minister saying his program is not building homes. Will he accept my program to cut bureaucracy and taxes to build new homes? The Right Honourable Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, what the Conservative leader wants to cut is the $900 million that we're sending to Quebec for the Housing Accelerator Fund to build homes across Quebec and the country. He wants to cut and remove $900 million that we're sending to Quebec to build more homes, to solve the challenges that Quebecers, and particularly young Quebecers, are facing. His solution isn't one.
Okay, number one, thy dog. You created the problem. You create the problem, then you do this Jedi mind trick game. Like people should believe in you to fix the problem that you created. Like, Turan, what do you think about this, bro?
I think, like I said, since the time of I think the meeting that he had, it was so like fake, and now all of a sudden, because I thought he was gonna be resigned. I thought that's what I heard. He was gonna be resigned, or they wanted him resigned for some reason. So now it's a bunch of baloney right now that I'm hearing from this guy, and I don't even know the guy. I don't even know him, but he sounds like a Democrat.
Oh, you caught on to how Democrats now sound?
Yup. Now I know, bro. I was like, damn, all them years I was on their side. I thought, it was meaningful, but now it's like they're not doing anything. And now hearing from this story, the shooter, which I still don't know really in depth, but it's looking bad.
Telling you, man. So there's a few things going on, okay? So let's pull it up, okay?
Yeah.
Are you ready for it, bro?
Ready, bro.
Are you serious? Ready? You say you're ready, right? Okay, hold on. Hold on. I got you. Hold on.
Oh shoot.
I got you. So we got a couple things is going on, right?
Right.
Okay. The first thing, okay. This was on the news today, bright and early in the morning, right?
Mm.
Okay. What does this say? Block leader to push for early election, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Block. So this is Quebec's leader, right? Public figure. So Quebec's leader is pushing for an early election after government doesn't pass pension hike bill. We can say the government's days are numbered. Did you see what he said? Did you
Damn,
see what he said?
that's crazy. He said that.
This is what he said. And I told you the government is illegitimate. So
Mm-hmm.
Canadians pretty much have lost hope, right? But anyway, we can say the government. Well, let me rephrase it. We can say okay, hold on. We can say the illegitimate liberal democratic government's days are numbered. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So he's saying he gave his comment. So he gave the illegitimate liberal government a deadline of October 29th to pass both bills into law. Today's the day that the bills aren't law. And so Blanchette is pushing ahead with an alternative plan, quotation marks, trying to topple this liberal democratic illegitimate government. So that's what's going on.
Mm.
He pulled his card. Okay, so you got that going. Okay?
Right.
Bro, money's coming my way, bro. In Ontario.
Where?
You wanna know what I'm talking about? Hold on, I'm gonna show you.
Yeah. What?
I'm getting a check. I'm getting a check, my guy.
When? When?
Soon. Watch this. You ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
What you need to know about $200 rebates for Ontario taxpayers. I'm a taxpayer, my guy.
Right.
I pay taxes. I filed my taxes. My mama always tell me, you need to file your taxes on time. I've been filing taxes ever since I was 18. Ever since I got into the workforce, I started filing taxes. Okay?
Man.
Here you go. The premier, Doug Ford, okay? He'd be like American's governor, okay? Like it's just reversed. We use premier, America would use governor, okay? He's conservative. He's a conservative, right? Has announced that his government will send out $200 rebates to every Ontario taxpayer in early 2025 in order to help with the rise in.
You can still hear me, bro. I don't know how.
Well, we're gonna take him out. You're gonna have to come back in, fam. We couldn't hear you. You cut out. I'm gonna have to kick you until you can bring you back in. So again, we getting a check. Check coming my way, brother. So this is a good policy. I told you, but they saying this for anyone, even if you come over here for a student. Yeah, I can hear you now. If you come over in Ontario, like if you come in, so it's just in Ontario. It's not in Nova Scotia. It's not in Quebec. It's not in different parts of Canada. It's only in Ontario. I'm in Ontario right now.
Right.
I told you, and the reason because the people. I'm just gonna say this. A conservative premier of Ontario is saying that, hey, we're going to give out $200 checks as rebates to every taxpayer in 2025. Ford made the announcement during a press conference in Toronto on Tuesday, noting that life is too expensive and the money will help Ontarians deal with expenses related to inflation and the federal carbon tax. Here's what you need to know about the rebates, and when you can expect your check. So when can I expect my check, Turan? You still there? You all good now?
Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So when can I expect my check? Number one, all Ontarians who were 18 years or older at the end of 2023 and file their tax return and benefit return for that year by the end of this December will be eligible for the rebate, as long as they are not bankrupt or currently incarcerated. I'm neither of those. Unlike many of other tax benefits, the rebate will not means tested. That will mean that millionaires, even billionaires, will also be receiving a check. So the millionaires and billionaires will be getting money.
Damn. What?
Speaking with reporters on Tuesday's press conference, Ford defended the decision to distribute the benefit to all Ontarians, including those with high incomes. These are taxed. This is his quote. This is one of the greatest quotes I've ever heard of. Okay, you want to? I'm going to read it for you. Okay, here you
Mm.
go. These are tax dollars going back to the taxpayers. Remember when I talked about how they take our tax dollars and send it to Ukraine and Israel and right to fund these foreign wars with the military industrial complex? Finally, a policy that I can agree with. Tax dollars going back to the taxpayers. I support this message. See, this is what they don't want for you guys in America. They don't want a Donald Trump because Donald Trump is a conservative and Republican, and I think he's willing to do policies like this. I mean, no tax on tips, no federal income tax. You know what I'm saying? When you're going to purchase a new vehicle that's made in America, yeah, I'll take a Donald Trump. He says we are going to give it back to every single person in Ontario, and if they have a kid, they are getting an additional $200 because life is too expensive right now. What about children? And it goes on. Who stands for the benefit? If they paid taxes in 2023, which I did, they're getting a rebate check. So I paid taxes in 2023. Okay, I'm getting my money. I'm getting something back. I'm getting something back for being here,
Right.
for all the hard work I've done. It is anyone who is, he says, it is anyone who is paying tax for, said, when asked whether permanent residents and those with work permits will be also eligible. I think they'll still get it too. He said, this is a check that is going to come back. Sorry, this is a check that is going to come very quickly. You don't have to file a tax return. It is not down the road. It is going to get in your pockets really quick. This is a good policy, my brother.
Damn. That's
That is
crazy.
that is
So
that is how this government look. That is how this government is helping people today because they need help today.
Hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
exactly. So like the ones that could get it are only employed, right? Employed.
He wants to give it to every person that's in Ontario. Every person. I'm pretty sure even if you're like even the billionaires and they're gonna get it too. He wants to give it to everybody. So even if you weren't employed, you're still gonna get a check, bro. Ain't that a good policy?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Bro, if you're not working, you're still gonna get a check. Being here in Ontario.
Damn. So
This is
like
what this is what I'm talking about. Like this is the kind of stuff they should have been doing, but now they're doing it because they know the social media people don't like them and they're trying to appeal to people for them to like them because they know they messed up.
yeah,
Okay, continue on.
true. So that's what Trump was trying to do too, like get rid of the taxes, right?
There you go. So let's segue into your news now. Okay. Guess what?
Mm.
Biden says that Trump supporters are garbage, bro. Did you hear what he said?
What?
He said they're garbage.
Why would he say that?
Look, here's the clip here. You want me? I'm gonna play it for you. Look. This is by Benny Johnson. Joe Biden on Trump supporters. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. Let's play the tape.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of
This is
Delaware.
what this is
They're
what
good, decent, honorable people.
isn't Joe Biden supposed to be the president for all Americans? Doesn't matter their skin color, doesn't matter their political affiliation. He should be president for all Americans, correct, bro?
Correct.
Did I get it wrong or right that time?
No, you got it right.
Okay. Anybody that disagrees, this is how they think of you. They think you're scum.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Damn, bro.
These demons.
Bro, this is not I don't know any president that's ever in my lifetime has ever said those kind of words directed to voters. Like I don't know, man. I just
Right.
Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Damn, bro.
His
Man, that's
demonization of
I'm telling you, you want to vote
Democrat.
You want to vote Democrat all your whole life? Go ahead, man. I don't vote Democrat or liberal. I don't fucking do it. They don't get my vote. They don't get my fucking vote.
In my home state of Delaware. They're good.
You'll
decent,
never get a vote
honorable
from
people.
me.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
So this is well, I don't want to call it a conspiracy. Okay, do you know who created the Ku Klux Klan, bro?
Wait, who?
Huh?
Who?
Which political party do you think created the Ku Klux Klan or Ku
I'm
Klux Klan?
guess, I'm guessing the Democrat.
Okay, so you're right about this. I'm gonna show you my information I have. Just give me a
Ah.
second. Hold on. Did you know that, bro?
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Democrat.
yeah. They created the Ku Klux Klan, bro.
Oh shit, that's not good. Ah.
I mean, I told you, bro. I would never vote Democrat. You know that. You know
Mm-mm.
that.
Right, I know. That's.
So okay, this is an article. It's called Code Switch. This is an article by NPR.
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. So here you go. I'm just gonna read you some of these guys' quotes. Okay, here's some of the quotes. Carol Swain said the Democrat Party has fought against every major civil rights initiative and has a long history of discrimination, bro. That's what they talk about gender and race so much, right? Ted Cruz, listen, the Democrats are the party of the Ku Klux Klan. Dinesh D'Souza, the Democrat Party historically has been the party of white supremacy. Alan West, they are the party of segregation. They are the party of the Ku Klux Klan. Ben Carson, who started the KKK? That was Democrats.
Damn. Hmm.
There you go. There you go, bro. They don't talk about that though. Right? They don't talk about that, bro.
Crazy. Maybe they. I don't know. Maybe because I feel like they know when Trump gets in office, he's gonna show him. He's gonna give him the work.
I know. That's why they call him Hitler. Their only argument is Trump is Hitler.
That's crazy.
Here you go, bro. So when we talk about black voting in the decades following Reconstruction before the Voting Rights Act, we have to be clear that we are primarily talking about black voters in the North. And since Democrats, the party that opposed the abolition, abolition of slavery. I think I might have pronounced that wrong. Abolition of slavery. We're also the official political. Sorry, we're also the official political organ for all these expressions of Southern white supremacy that popped up in the post Reconstruction years. Black folks who could vote did not bang with them.
Mm.
Crazy, bro. So, bro, I'm just gonna
Crazy.
tell you, I would never vote Democrat.
Right. Dang. I didn't even vote.
You gonna vote? Did you already vote yet, man?
No, I didn't.
You should go, man. Do it early. There, yeah. Let me segue into what's the next one. The next one. I mean, I could go through this all night. I don't. I want to do it all night. But bro, they're
Right.
they're setting back. Bro, you better go and vote now because they're setting ballot boxes on fire.
I
Did you
heard
hear
about
this?
that.
Yeah, that's what they're
What
doing.
the heck?
They're setting them on fire, bro. There you go.
Wow.
Now, in 2020, did you?
Mm.
Did you? I mean, did this happen in 2020? Did you? Do you remember? Do you remember in 2020 that? Like, do you remember seeing a video like this? I don't remember, honestly.
No, no. I was like, what? That's the
Okay,
first time.
okay, there you go. So imagine, like, I just came inside, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so what did I do when I came inside? I checked my mailbox. I got mail here. So
Mm.
imagine if the mail that I need was on
Mm.
fire. You basically are destroying the confidence that I have in the government, correct? Or in the mailing system, whatever system it is.
Right.
Okay, bro, there you go.
Dang. I heard about that. I was like, wait, where did that even come from? Who did this?
I think they caught the guy. I think it's on Daily Mail. I think they caught the guy that did this
Mm.
shit. But look, they got them on video doing it.
Oh,
Official.
shit.
Look at this shit, bro. Official ballot draw. Bro, do you know this is This is a felony. This is a felony.
Damn. That's
This is a
crazy.
felon. Bro, even if I don't like, okay, look, let me say this clearly, okay?
Mm.
You know how I feel about Democrats and liberals and all that. Okay, fine. I'm not gonna go to a ballot box and light it on fire, bro. I don't got the time to do it. I'm busy. I got shit to do.
Right. He had no job or had nothing.
Clearly.
Ah,
Clearly. So anyway, the escalations are already happening. They're already happening. And you better start. Remember when I said the next few weeks is gonna be really telling? Here's
mm,
another historical stone. And
yep.
by the way,
Because
before I get into the Trump's or sorry, before I get into the Trudeau stuff, do you know Victor Davis Hanson? He breaks down Trump's history, and I want to put this on my channel. I was listening to it. Hold on, let me show you.
mm,
You tell me if Trump is gonna like when you hear Victor Davis Hanson explaining this stuff.
mm,
You gotta tell me what you think, bro. Okay.
okay.
All right, I'm gonna show you.
Mm,
This is how they treat people in this country. I'm gonna show you, okay, and then we can go to Trudeau's thing because I got to get to that. Okay,
right.
listen to this. I got to put this on my channel. I gotta do it, bro. I think I'm gonna start doing it more because he explains it so well.
Mhm,
Okay, so you know how? Okay, so you know Trump's charges. Okay, hold on a
mm,
second. Let's start with Trump's charges. Okay, let's start here.
mhm.
far more than warranting the sort of treatment he's had with the legal system. Now, I understand that there are arguments to the effect that Trump is not responsible for the insurrection, and that might be something you cite, but I'll leave it up to you. This is, I think these are the biggest events that people are citing for why he should not be president.
When I made that statement, let's go through them one by one. We can start with E. Jean Carroll suit. She was a person that she allegedly 3 decades earlier said she was sexually assaulted by Donald Trump.
Listen.
She couldn't remember the year, it was inexact. She couldn't remember what she wore. In fact, she said she wore a particular dress that wasn't even in production at the time that the event supposedly took place. Stranger still, the scenario that she gave was almost exactly the same as a plot of a TV show, almost exactly the same, of a person who goes into the same department store, goes to a dressing room, and supposedly is sexually assaulted by a celebrity. She couldn't answer any questions about the actual details. The suit that she filed in front of a favorable judge was funded entirely by Reid Hoffman, a mega billionaire and Biden donor. So it was highly irregular. The second one, Latita James, she filed a suit and said that Donald Trump had overvalued his Mar-a-Lago residence, which she said was worth about $17 million, and therefore got a loan from the Deutsche Bank that he otherwise wouldn't have. And therefore he had committed fraud. That was the main topic of most of her. I can get into the other ones, but that was the main one. The bank in question said they had no problem. They knew exactly better than she did the exact value of Mar-a-Lago. Most people think today Mar-a-Lago may be worth anywhere from $100 to $200 million. Anybody who drives by it can see that. 20 acres with waterfront on both sides. So the bank in question that issued the loan said not only did they have no problem with the assets that were used as collateral, the loan was paid back promptly and with profitable interest on their part, and they would issue another loan again. So that has never been used against a public figure in New York, or any figure. The third one with Fannie Willis, the argument was he called with people on the line and said, find me the votes. Now you can argue that might have been to a registrar. He didn't say invent the votes, he said they're basically there and you've got to go find them. I've talked to a lot of politicians since that, because I was curious myself. How many times in close races have you called the registrar or the attorney? All the time. I don't think there's this been counting how many votes are left. There must be more votes. That was criminalized by Fannie Willis. And of course, it's now in suspension because the special prosecutor that she hired was her paramour. And there was accusations that she has not been able to refute that she was giving money to the special counsel that she hired, and then going on junkets with him with the monies he had taken from her public purse. And he had met twice with the Biden White House. If you go to the third one, Alvin Bragg, he alleged that Donald Trump had given money to Stormy Daniels in a non-disclosure. There's no controversy that he did. I don't even think there's controversy that Donald Trump had a sexual union. He's denied it, but it looks very incriminating. So he had a common non-disclosure, an embarrassing situation, 10 years before. The argument was that that was a campaign donation that he did not report. And therefore, it wasn't personal. He wasn't trying to protect his family. Well, I think most people disagreed, but the point doesn't matter whether most people disagreed or not. The federal prosecutor who prosecutes federal statutes, because that's what campaign finance statutes apply to in presidential campaign, chose not to prosecute and said there was nothing there. Alvin Bragg then took a federal violation, he thought, and jump-started it into a state. And of course, the judge, Mershon, was a donor, a small donor, but a donor nonetheless to the Biden campaign, and his wife was a major advisor to Democratic candidates, and he was urged by a number of justices, retired lawyers, legal to recuse himself. He did not. So if we go to the Letitia James, the Alvin Bragg, the E. Jean Carroll, then we go to Jack Smith. Excuse me, I got to go to, we did Letitia James. Go to Jack Smith. There is no special counsel statute. It's expired. Congress never renewed it. He's not a special counsel. He is a special prosecutor who was appointed by Merrick Garland, and he is an employee of the DOJ. The DOJ's own handbook on judicial ethics and principles for all their employees says that no federal indictment shall be issued in a major political figure or concerning a major political event 90 days before a count. That's exactly what he is doing now. More importantly is he was the subject of Donald Trump of a parallel situation in which Special Prosecutor Smith was investigating his supposed unlawful removal of classified documents from his personal residence. At the same time that was happening, Special Prosecutor Robert Hur was investigating incumbent and current President Joe Biden. Special Prosecutor Hur, if you read the entire report, has testified that Joe Biden illegally, in a period of over 3 decades, removed documents that were classified. He put them in unsecure locations, perhaps 4 of them. More importantly, he had his ghostwriter give access to those documents. The ghostwriter destroyed the tapes, said he was worried that they may be hacked, even though they were under subpoena. Prosecutor Hur said that could have been indicted, but he chose not to because he felt that the ghostwriter did not mean it with evil intent. He said that Joe Biden was culpable, but he didn't think that he could win a conviction. And I've not heard of this about a federal prosecutor before, because of Joe Biden's cognitive problems and age would rend him as a sympathetic character before a judge. Therefore, he chose not to prosecute. So you had this parallel prosecution on the documents. What I'm getting at is in all prior cases, when there is a dispute about a classified document, it's usually handled administratively or bureaucratically. You don't take an FBI type SWAT team and go into somebody's private range. And anybody who drives by Mar-a-Lago can see it's much more secure than is Joe Biden's garage as we know it from photograph. Then we get to the insurrection, the final point. So on January 6th, Donald Trump addressed a group of people. I think that was unwise because there were people massing at the White House and they had announced that they should go over to the Capitol. To save him, whether you think that it was self-serving or it was genuine, it doesn't matter. He did say to the group, I expect you to assemble peacefully and patriotic at the Capitol and make, quote, your voices heard. So they went over there. and they entered unlawfully the Capitol in the rotunda. They went through offices. There was violence outside the Capitol. The leftists called this an insurrection. But if you're the head of an insurrection, you don't tell people to assemble peaceful and patriotically. If you go into the Capitol and you're there for insurrectionary purposes, you're armed. They didn't find a firearm. People had said they found a taser or a knife, but they have not found a firearm. Matthew Rosenberg, a Pulitzer Prize winner of the New York Times, in an unfair but genuine ambush interview, admitted to the interviewer that he thought the whole thing was a joke, in the sense that he recognized FBI informants throughout the assemblage out in the grounds. Should that have happened? No. Was that reckless? Yes. Was that an insurrection? No. Did that stop the certification of the election? No. I'll just finish with some parallel whataboutism, because it is important. Is election denialism unique? No. In 2004, Barbara Boxer and some 30 House representatives tried to stop the certification of Ohio, which George W. Bush clearly won. I don't know if that was symbolic, because that had no chance of succeeding. But had they succeeded and had a majority vote in the House, she was a senator that was helping them, the election would have been suspended. In 2016, after the election in which Donald Trump won the Electoral College but lost the popular vote, Jill Stein, a third-party candidate, said the election was invalid. And that was because she alleged that computers in Ohio, and I think Pennsylvania, were fraudulent. And she sued. People have reported, I don't know if it's confirmed, with the encouragement of the losing candidate, Hillary Clinton. That was thrown out, but that was an attempt to stop the election. But more importantly, in that interregnum between the election and the December certification of the House, of the vote, almost nightly, Hollywood actors went on television and they appealed to the electors, who were constitutionally bound to reflect the majority vote in their state, not the national vote. They made a direct appeal to be what we call falsified or false electors. In other words, there were direct appeals: do not, in these key swing states, vote to reflect the popular vote. After they failed to do so and Donald Trump was declared the winner, we had major figures on the Democratic side say that he was not legitimately elected. He was fraudulently elected due to Russian collusion. Who were those people? I'll just give you three names. The House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, said he was illegitimate. Hillary Clinton said he was illegitimate. Former President Jimmy Carter said not only was he illegitimate, but he was elected through Russian agency, which was demonstrably proved false by Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller. And I could even end on Stacey Abrams, who became an iconic figure in the Democratic Party after she lost the Georgia gubernatorial race by 50,000 votes. And she was introduced at major Democratic events as the real governor of Georgia, and she alleged voting fraud. So was January 6th an unfortunate event? I think it was. I think it was a buffoonish riot. In terms of magnitude and deaths, contrary to what the left said, Joe Biden said 5 police officers were killed. That was not true. 5 police officers died after the event, sometimes over a year, through suicide. In one case, Officer Sicknick had a stroke. There was only one violently killed person. That was Ashley Babbitt, a 14-year military veteran who committed a misdemeanor by going through a previously broken window into the Capitol, in which she was lethally shot by Officer Byrd, whose identification was suppressed for almost 3 months. In addition to that, if you juxtapose the 2021 riot with the prior summer riot, I'm talking about May, June, July, August, September of 2020, when the BLM and Antifa riots following the death of George Floyd overwhelmed law enforcement. If you look at the final toll, there were 35 people killed, 14,000 people arrested, $2 billion in property damage. And in addition to that, there was an effort to storm the White House grounds that sent the President of the United States into a bunker. There was the burning of a federal courthouse. There was a burning of a police precinct. And there was a burning of a historic church, the St. John's Episcopal Church. Of that protest, Kamala Harris said at the height of the Washington violence, she said of these protests, I know fact checkers said that she was referring to protests, not the violence, but it was indistinguishable to people on television. They had been synonymous. These will not stop. They should not stop. This is a movement. This is going to go on to Election Day. This is going to go on after. In addition to that, earlier she had posted a tweet giving references how people, with urging on her part, could bail out violent offenders that were arrested in the Minnesota riots, arson, and demonstration. So in the context of all of that, was what Donald Trump did unfortunate? Yes. Was it a full-fledged insurrection? No. In terms of violence, did it rank with left-wing prompted demonstrations? And was it an effort to use extra legal means to interrupt an election? It may have been, but it failed. Were these 5 suits that I just talked about, had they had historical precedence? No. Was the aim of them to interfere with an election as we see now? Yes, it was.
All I can say to that.
So again, elections have consequences, brother. You see
That's
how
what I was.
Go ahead.
That's what I was thinking. I know I told you. I think not too long ago I was asking, like, is it like gonna be like a riot or something? Like if Trump becomes president, and then even though he says good things, I know people who don't like him.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Democrat Party, the people that are in power now today, they're not going to accept the results of the 2024 election. They're not going to accept it. And I do think even if Kamala wins, I think conservatives are not going to accept it.
Damn.
So, bro, you better you got 6 days left, bro. Stock up on water, get ammunition, do something.
Because it always involves cuts to services
Now
and
we can go
investments
into
in
this.
programs that Canadians need. It's not cuts and austerity that Quebecers want. They want
Canadians learned the hard way.
Mike Moffat.
All right, here we go. Are you ready? Do you got your popcorn ready? I got mine.
The Conservative leaders plan to eliminate the GST for newly constructed homes selling for under $1 million is the boldest middle-class housing proposal released to date from any federal political party. Will he accept my common sense idea?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Here we go.
Over the decades, Canadians learned the hard way. With Conservative promises, you always have to check the fine print. And the fine print on this one is they're going to cut the investments we're making across the country, working with municipalities to cut red tape, to invest in more housing, to invest in more affordable homes, to accelerate permitting and to create densification. He's going to cut the services and programs and investments that Canadians are counting on to solve this housing crisis. That's all he offers, Mr. Speaker. Cuts to the programs and supports that Canadians need. Whether it's the Housing Accelerator or housing and infrastructure investments, he's going to build slow homes.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Here we go.
Named the 2 bureaucracies I'll get rid of. One is ironically named the Housing Infrastructure Fund. $5 billion. How many houses is it built? Zero. How many pieces of infrastructure? Zero. Can you even apply for money for it? No. It's just for bureaucrats. Then there's the Housing Accelerator Fund, which his own Liberal housing minister says the fund doesn't go towards the cost of building houses. It doesn't actually lead to the construction of specific homes. The Housing Accelerator Fund doesn't actually directly build homes. So why not take the money, axe the tax, and build the homes?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition is intending to cut the Housing Accelerator Fund, which is all about creating densification across our communities, accelerating the permitting and cutting red tape, using more public lands, creating more opportunities for public land to be used for the creation of affordable homes. It's about changing the way homes get built so they get built faster and more accessibly for Canadians. He's about cutting the programs and the services that Canadians rely on. That's what Canadians have learned about Conservative promises. Got to look at the fine print, and the fine print is cuts to things Canadians need.
That's right.
So, number one, Justin Trudeau, I looked at the fine print. The fine print says that liberal/Democrat is a dangerous threat to democracy.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Cuts to taxes Canadians pay, Mr. Speaker. We will axe the sales tax on new homes under $1 million, saving up to $50,000 on a new home or $2,700 in lower mortgage payments every single year. By contrast, in the last 3 years, the number of young people who have ownership of a home today has fallen by half under this Prime Minister and his incompetent housing minister. So why won't he cut the bureaucracy, axe the tax, and build the home?
There you go. There you go.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Let's go.
Speaker, Canadians have learned when Conservatives make promises, you've got to check the fine print. And the fine print on this one is cutting programs that are investing in building new homes right across the country, working with municipalities, and delivering the homes that Canadians, particularly young Canadians,
Bro, he keeps repeating the same thing.
need. Now, if the Leader of the Opposition actually cared about young Canadians, he wouldn't be standing against the fact that we're asking wealthier Canadians to pay a little more in taxes.
What?
And delivering the homes that Canadians, particularly young Canadians, need. Now, if the Leader of the Opposition actually cared about young Canadians, he wouldn't be standing against the fact that we're asking wealthier Canadians to pay a little more in taxes to help young Canadians with buying a home, with creating a future. With
Number one, Justin Trudeau, you can't help me buy a home. I'm going to help myself and buy a home. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I believe in generational wealth. Justin Trudeau, you believe in destroying procreation. You want women to have abortions. That's what you want.
Creating the jobs that they need. We're going to continue to invest in young people for intergenerational fairness while he gives tax breaks to wealthiest.
The Honourable Member for Belleuil-Chambly. Mr. Speaker, all the parties in this House
Okay, here he is. Here, this is the leader of Quebec. Here you go.
supported at various stages different measures. One, to help 1 million retirees in Quebec and across the country, and others to support farmers. We gave the government 5 weeks, and then the government said no. I'm wondering.
Okay, did you catch what he said? Bro, did you catch it?
Yeah, I think I caught half of it. I was trying to catch like a lot of it because my phone is not having good connection, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like he's saying the same thing he said like during that conference meeting, like every single time.
I'm not talking about Trudeau. I'm talking about the leader of Quebec. Have you ever been to Quebec before?
Oh no, I haven't. Never. I always wanted to go though.
Quebec is a beautiful place. Homes and rent in Quebec used to be pretty cheap. My uncle and family, I have family in Quebec, bro. The rent and everything was cheaper, bro. You could get a 1-bedroom apartment before the pandemic for like $700, bro.
That is
you
not
might
bad at all. That's not bad.
Yeah, so
Supported at various stages.
Hold on a second. Let me ask
Did
you.
I lose connection?
Let me. Can you hear me? No, I don't think you can hear me. So you're gonna have to call back in with something with your phone. But my question now becomes, bro, do you support seniors getting more money? To help with their finance. I support seniors getting more money.
Different measures. One, to help 1 million retirees in Quebec and across the country, and others to support farmers. We gave the government
So Trudeau had two options: support our elderly in the community and support farmers. And what was his answer?
5 weeks, and then the government said no.
He said no.
I'm wondering if the Prime Minister
It's a slap in the face.
is saying
slap in
that
the
our
face.
proposal is bad because they voted in favor of it. And why does he not ask the relevance of the question to Quebecers
Exactly.
with regard to his election? The Right Honourable Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, the Bloc leader knows full well that in terms of protecting our farmers, we're moving forward and we're here to protect supply management. We're here to ensure that the Senate will adopt this legislation or an equivalent bill, because we'll always be here to protect our farmers.
He just told
In terms of our seniors, we'll also always be here to protect them.
You're saying the
Whether it's
opposite of what the
in terms of dental care that has now been delivered to almost 1 million Canadians.
Again, I don't get Justin Trudeau's dental care. I have insurance. I still have to pay out of pocket with my insurance. They cover up to 80% of dental care for myself. Not Justin Trudeau.
Particularly seniors. And we're also here to increase the GIS
Damn.
and
all right,
extend OAS for older
Okay.
seniors. We're always going to be here for seniors. The Honourable Leader, Member for Ballet-Chambly.
He's responding. Look.
It's like the insane asylum. The Conservatives want to...
Did you hear what he said?
Wait, what did he say?
He said it's like the insane asylum.
Oh shit.
Bro, doing the same thing all the time, trying to get a different result is a definition of insanity.
Right.
So he's basically calling Justin Trudeau insane, basically.
As for older seniors, we're always going to be here for
Well, hear it
seniors.
again. Hear it again.
The Honourable Leader, Member for Ballet-Chambly. It's like the insane asylum. The Conservatives want to invest, table a motion to get rid of the government. They have to stop filibustering. And now the Conservatives are protecting the government, strangely enough. And now the Conservatives' obstruction seems to be in favor of the Liberals because they don't want to work more. Can we stop this nonsense and trigger an election, Mr. Speaker?
Yo, you know what? I agree with that. Stop the nonsense. Let's get to the electioning. Because I'm gonna be let's get to it. Let's go. I'm ready for it.
Now the Conservatives are protecting the government,
no
strangely
more
enough.
of this nonsense.
And now the Conservatives' obstruction seems
give me this
to
election shit.
be in
Like,
favor of the
yeah.
Liberals because they don't
I'm
want to
ready.
work
I'm
more.
gonna
Can we
vote.
stop this nonsense
Prove a point.
and trigger an election, Mr. Speaker?
All right, he's gonna respond. I bet you he's gonna say the same thing. Hello.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Here we go.
We can clearly see who is here in this House to play politics and who's here to work.
Calm down a bit.
I will ask the Prime Minister to start from the top, please. Mr. Speaker, we can clearly see who here in this House is here to play petty politics and who is here to deliver for Canadians.
He's not delivering.
It's exactly what we are
talking
doing
about, man?
by providing dental care across this
Lord.
country to help almost...
What's that?
Dental
He
care.
keeps saying the same thing.
Oh,
It's
man.
so funny. That's why I started doing this stream, because now I'm just gonna sit back and watch a clown be a clown. It's it. I'm gonna sit back and watch a clown literally fight for his survival. Literally, like he's like in the big, like he's swimming and he's trying to like move his hands and legs really quickly, right? So he doesn't drown.
Canadians.
That's all.
It's
it
exactly
is.
what we are doing by providing dental care
Dental
across this
care?
country to help almost 1 million Canadians. It's exactly what we are doing by
my
providing
God.
dental care across this country. Who here in this House is here to play petty politics and who is here
This is what
to
I gotta
deliver
deal
for
with.
Canadians.
Oh my
It's exactly what we are doing
What is it?
by providing dental care across this country to help almost 1 million
You're gonna keep
Canadians
saying it.
with dental care. And we have been here to invest
Annoying.
in
Oh, I'm
more
just
daycare
showing you,
spots.
man.
And we're going to continue to be here to deliver insulin free of charge for people who need it, who cannot afford it,
Look at the
and
people. Okay,
to
wait.
provide.
Hold on, stop for a second. Bro, the people behind him don't even believe him. Look at this sister here. She don't even believe him when he speaks. She don't even, look, bro. This is the definition of an NPC. Tell them what to do. Tell them what to think. Tell them what to believe.
Right.
What is the slogan? Cogs in a machine.
Machine. Oh my god.
You want to see? Look, I'm zeroing in on the sister, right? No, watch her, bro. She doesn't make she can't make it because she knows she's on TV, but she can't make. Look, watch.
Contraceptives for people who need it. We have work to do, and we are doing it for Canadians.
The honourable member from Burnaby South.
Rogers is ripping off.
Oh, here's this guy. Oh Lord. His brother literally owns, like, what is it called? His brother colluded with the, hold on, I want to say it right. His brother, so Jagmeet Singh, allegedly, his brother colluded with big grocery stores like Metro.
Oh shit.
You want me to say it again? Jagmeet Singh's brother allegedly colluded with big grocery stores like Metro. They call him Sellout Singh. They call him a sellout. They don't call me a sellout because I'm an independent thinker. I'm an independent believer. But this guy's a sellout.
Off Canadians with hidden TV box fees. Again, the Conservatives laugh about this while Canadians get ripped off. Very interesting. The Liberals.
You remember when he approached the guy and said, "What'd you say to me?" Remember that video?
Oh yeah. Oh, was that the one where you said, wait, like listen. Remember? Oh, was
I got it.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, let me see if I can pull that one up.
All right.
It should be. He approached him. Okay, here it is.
When you voted not confident tonight, if it came up, corrupted bastard. Did I say something? What? Did I say something? Who said that? You got something to say? I didn't say corrupted bastard, but I said. What you said? No, I did not say that. Who said it? Somebody behind me said that. Was it me? Was it you? No. You sure? If it was me, I'd admit it.
What a coward piece of garbage. He couldn't even admit what he said. He ain't got the guts to admit what he said. That's not a nigga like me, brother.
Help them do it by allowing the merger, the multi-billion-dollar merger with Shaw. And the Conservatives not only are laughing, but they don't care about it because their Conservative leader gets big checks from Edward Rogers. Oh, that makes sense. I get it now. Wait.
I'm not voting NDP anyway. I'm not going to vote.
Colleagues, in order for us to get through question period in the required time, it's important that members not be interrupted and that the chair can hear the question. And invite the honourable member from Burnaby.
Laugh again when I mentioned that Canadians are getting ripped off by Rogers, who is charging them hidden fees every.
I mean, he's telling some truth there. My internet connection is Rogers. Like how I'm streaming right now is Rogers. Yeah, there is hidden fees. But what are you going to do about it, bro?
Month when they rent their TV box. Now, I know that the Liberals have helped Rogers do that by allowing the multi-billion-dollar merger with Shaw. The Conservatives don't care about helping Canadians because their leader gets big checks from Edward Rogers. But my question is to the Prime Minister. Will he commit today to forcing Rogers to reverse these fees or ban them from receiving any federal contracts?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, over the past number of years, we've seen data fees and cell phone fees decrease across this country because of the efforts this government has brought in for more competition and for support for consumers.
Trudeau, why don't you just do the Starlink thing? Like you can literally guys, you can literally purchase Starlink and you can take Starlink wherever you want to go around the world.
Right.
And then you open up the Starlink and you have automatic internet. You can go to the highest of highest mountains with Starlink and stream.
Damn. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Because, bro, they lied, right? They lied and said that, oh, we're spending, all this money for high-speed internet and all this kind of stuff. But Elon Musk literally has the technology, which is Starlink, where you can go anywhere around the world and have internet.
We know there's always more to do. We're going to continue to hold the telcos to account to deliver high-quality services to Canadians at affordable prices. That's something that we will continue to be there for.
That's right. The Honourable Member for Burnaby South.
Allowed a massive merger to happen.
In her documentary La Peur au Ventre, Leah Clermont-Dion shows that the anti-abortion movement is gaining ground. She shows how anti-abortionists are pulling conservative strings. The Liberals, for their part, have not improved access to abortion. When will the Prime Minister finally ensure safe and equitable access to abortion across the country? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, as a party and as a government, we always have been here to protect women's rights. We'll continue to do so and to increase access to health care services, reproductive services across the country. At the same time, I share the concerns of my colleague from the NDP. In terms of the Conservatives, and particularly...
Hold on.
What is he talking about?
Bro, this is how he talks. Look, this is the Starlink. Look, they have the Starlink here. You can go anywhere around the world with the Starlink, bro. So so why should anyone be investing in Rogers or any of these telecommunications companies? Makes no sense.
The new Starlink mini dish from SpaceX, a portable internet connectivity device that is...
Right, it's a portable internet connectivity device. You can go anywhere. Highest of highest mountain.
A smaller version of Starlink. Here's everything we know so far. In a series of tweets, Elon Musk shared that he had just set up a Starlink Mini and was writing his posts, quote, through space.
So why is the government wasting taxpayers' money on stuff that makes no sense? So we have the technology, clearly.
That don't say anything when they have to defend women's rights. They don't speak up.
Whoa. I'm going to decode this shit right now. Let's go.
Protect women's rights. Will continue to do so. Their part have not improved access to abortion. When will the Prime Minister finally ensure safe and equitable access to abortion across the country? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, as a party and as a government, we always have been here to protect women's rights. We'll continue to do so and to increase access to health care services, reproductive services across the country. At the same time, I share the concerns of my colleague from the NDP. In terms of the Conservatives, and particularly there are members, Quebec Conservative members, that don't say anything when they have to defend women's rights. They don't speak up.
Number one, as a man, okay, why should I say, yeah, it's good to defend people's rights, whether you're female or male. It's good to do that. But where are the women that are defending men's rights?
That's true. I was thinking about that.
Okay.
To fight back against conservative attacks against the women's right to choose. And the Honourable Leader of the Opposition. Mr. Speaker, the Bloc has done a flip-flop after voting 188 times to keep this government in power. It's the most centralizing and expansionist government in history. They've kept them in power. They voted two more times this fall in a confidence vote, even though they gave nothing to farmers or seniors. Once again, can the Bloc vote with us to end this government that does less for Quebec?
Will the NDP finally break off its costly coalition with the government and call a carbon tax election?
I don't know. We're waiting to see.
I listened carefully to the question of the Leader of the Opposition. We've been through this before. At some point, the chair is going to have to cut questions if we continue to have questions which don't deal with the administration of government. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, the very angry housing minister has been up all night trying to dream up some snarky comment in response to the very popular announcement Common Sense Conservatives made yesterday to axe the federal sales tax.
Axing federal sales tax? Okay.
On homes under $1 million. Something that...
So wait a minute. Is he saying there's no federal tax on homes under... What? This is a good policy.
His own advisor, Dr. Mike Moffat, has said is the most bold announcement of any federal party for middle-class home ownership. He took my idea on GST for rental housing. Will he accept this common sense plan to axe the tax?
There's a lot of chatter coming. I can only identify the member from New Westminster Burnaby, but I would warn other members, please.
Agree on that piece. What he doesn't know is his caucus colleagues have been going behind his back, writing me letters, advocating for their communities to receive funding through the housing accelerator.
Whoa. Is this the housing? Yeah, so they're calling this guy out. He called this guy out, okay? He's the housing minister of Canada. He literally got called out. Okay, here we go.
He spends on me. I'm going to have to send him a check for the time I've been living rent-free in his head.
So now this is the notion of living rent-free in opposition's head.
Minister for Infrastructure, Housing and Communities.
Mr. Speaker, with all the time and energy he spends on me, I'm going to have to send him a check for the time I've been living rent-free in his head. But, I got to tell you, yesterday, make no mistake, the Conservative leader announced he would make multi-billion-dollar cuts to programs that will get homes built in this country. Now, he knows that, and we can agree on that piece. What he doesn't know is his caucus colleagues have been going behind his back, writing me letters, advocating for their communities to receive funding through the Housing Accelerator Fund because they believe it will get more homes built. My question for the Conservative members of his caucus, will they have the courage to stand up and tell him he's wrong?
Yeah, I don't think it's
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, it's the only rent he hasn't doubled. And nobody else has to tell that member that he's wrong because he told himself. This is what he said about his own Housing Accelerator Fund. Let me quote.
Yo, man, this is one of the greatest videos I've ever seen. Let's go back.
But tell him he's wrong.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, it's the only rent he hasn't doubled. And nobody else has to tell that member that he's wrong because he told himself. This is what he said about his own Housing Accelerator Fund. Let me quote it. The Housing Accelerator Fund doesn't actually go towards the cost of building houses. It doesn't actually lead to the construction of specific homes. The Housing Accelerator Fund doesn't actually directly build homes. And he's right. Since he started forking over these big checks, construction has gone down in the major municipalities that has received it. So will he cut the bureaucracy, axe the tax, and build the home?
I ask all members once again, including the member from Hamilton Centre, to please not take the floor. The Honourable Minister for Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Mr. Speaker, there was a time not so long ago when the Conservative leader was actually advocating the government do more to increase density near the services that people need. Infrastructure already exists. There was a time when he was actually advocating to do something to reduce development cost charges to make it cheaper to build homes in this country. There was a time he was advocating the government do something to actually speed up the process of permitting. Now that we've actually moved forward with billions of dollars of investments that are getting homes built, making changes, he's changed his view and says we should do nothing on any of these programs and blames the government for making the investments he once thought was a good idea. We're going to do what it takes to build homes. I wish he'd join us.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, he's done precisely the opposite. Since he gave Toronto $500 million, that city hall has jacked up development taxes by 40%. No wonder construction is down 20%. That's probably why Dr. Mike Moffat, the minister's housing advisor, said that it's hard to deny that the Housing Accelerator Fund is turning out to be nothing more than a heist of tax dollars flowing from the feds to the municipality. Wow. So enough with the heists. Won't he cut the bureaucracy, axe the tax, and build the home?
The Honourable Minister of Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Mr. Speaker, I sometimes ask myself where they found this guy. He twists the facts to suit his narrative whenever he wants. It's almost like the Conservative Party, when looking for a new leader, hopped on Temu, typed in far-right Conservative, and then spit this guy out instead. He opposes investments in affordable housing. He borrows lessons from his cousin south of the border when he opposes birth control for women. During the January 6th of Canada, the convoy, he wasn't just telling people to stand by, he was bringing them coffee in the streets. Mr. Speaker, it might be election season in America. We don't need this far right-wing populism here at home.
Did you guys hear that? What he's saying? It's called far-right populism in Canada. So anyone that disagrees with the people that are in power are far-right populists. Really? Oh, what's happened to this? The north of the border, dude. People can agree to disagree. You guys are failures. You guys are literally failures. And anyway.
Stand by. He was bringing them coffee in the streets. Mr. Speaker, it might be election season in America. We don't need this far right-wing populism here at home.
We do need it here at home, actually. We need it right here in Canada.
The Order. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, speaking of leadership contestants, that member must be so uptight and angry because the polling shows that though Canadians want to fire that Prime Minister, the Housing Minister ranks dead last in the polls to replace him. And why wouldn't he? This is the guy who lost track of 1 million people when he was Immigration Minister. Right. He ignored warnings from his own department that letting...
See, he's telling you, and they're trying to be loud and shit. Look, listen.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, speaking of leadership contestants, that member must be so uptight and angry because the polling shows that though Canadians want to fire that Prime Minister, the Housing Minister ranks dead last in the polls to replace him. And why wouldn't he? This is the guy who lost track of 1 million people when he was Immigration Minister. Right. He ignored warnings from his own department that letting in 200% more people would cause a housing shortage. And his own government spent the last week...
He ignored the fact that letting people in would cause a housing shortage. He ignored that fact. That's why we're in the predicament that we're in.
Trashing his entire immigration record. How can arrogance and incompetence so comfortably reside in one man?
Yeah!
The Honourable Minister of Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservative leader asks how arrogance and incompetence can live so comfortably in one man. He manages to show us every single day. Mr. Speaker, let's actually look at the facts. While he's concerned about my polling numbers, I'm I'm concerned about helping people in need. We put billions of dollars on the table to build or repair hundreds of thousands of homes in this country so vulnerable Canadians have a roof over his head. Let's look at his record. The worst level of home building in the last 10 years. And when he had the chance to help the most vulnerable, he simply got 6 units built across the entire country. The only thing he's done to help vulnerable people is show up with a video camera to treat those living without a roof over their head as props, and it's unacceptable.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, the sum total of the chaos in our immigration system that happened under this government happened while he was the minister. His own subsequent Liberal successor has now denounced him and blamed him and his policies for the housing shortfall we have today. And now as housing minister, since he took office, the number of young people who own a home has gone from 47% down to 26% as he builds bureaucracy to block homes. Why doesn't he realize his failure, accept my common sense plan to axe the tax and build the home?
The Honourable Minister for Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship. À l'ordre, s'il vous plaît.
Order, please.
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition has said there's been consensus on immigration for 150 years. That means he's okay with the Chinese head tax. That means he's okay with not letting Jews in after the Second World War. That means, Mr.
What
Speaker...
is this guy talking about? He sounds like a crackpot. I'm not wasting my time on him. Let's go to you know, Canada's favorite man, Mark Holland.
Care. The Honourable Minister of Health.
Canada's most attractive man. That's what I'm going to label him. Canada's most attractive man. Let's watch this shit.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I lost my grandmother, and this is a very sensitive issue. It's a national conversation that is needed across the country, and with my provincial counterparts, I will do so. I would ask on the other side if they could cooperate with me to have time for a national conversation to make sure the system is ready and that we've had a conversation in every family across the country. I think that's very important. The Honourable Member from Montcalm. The Liberals lack courage and are complicating access to end-of-life care. And as if that weren't enough, they're passing the buck to the next government. Conversation across the country, not for a long time, just for a few months. For the entire history of our country, so it's illogical to take a few months to make sure the system is ready.
From Calgary, Nose Hill.
The Housing Accelerator Fund doesn't actually directly build homes. Who said that? The Minister of Housing. This is the same man who juiced temporary visas knowing that students were sleeping under bridges.
Damn.
And were performing sex acts because they couldn't afford rent.
They're performing sex acts because they can't afford rent? Wow, Canada's collapsed.
And were performing sex acts because they couldn't afford rent. Temporary visas.
You have to think about it, right? Like, this is where the OnlyFans and, you know what I mean, people getting hooked on pornography and all this kind of shit.
Knowing that students were sleeping under bridges and were performing sex acts because they couldn't afford rent. This minister has been allowed to fail upwards. Even his caucus members know that. So when will the Prime Minister stop letting this minister fail upwards while Canadians are failing to pay their rent?
Hear, hear. The Honourable Minister of Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Mr. Speaker, the attempt to link very challenging life circumstances to the government's Housing Accelerator Fund is beyond disingenuous. She wants to talk about what her colleague members know.
Prime Minister, give it to them.
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance.
All right, Canada's most attractive model.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservative...
Canada's most attractive model. Take a look. This is Canada's most attractive woman. She gets the prize for Canada's most attractive woman. Honestly, she gets the prize. Let's roll the tape.
Leader doesn't usually give press conferences. That's why it's understandable that he goofed yesterday.
Oh, Lord.
And he admitted his true plan. He said, we're going to cut 2 programs for sure and more beyond that.
Shame.
So now we all know the Conservative plan is one of cuts.
Shame.
They're going to cut that school food program that's going to feed 400,000 kids. They're going to cut...
Trudeau's looking like he's not looking. He's in a bad position, Brad. Look at him. I never seen Trudeau like this. Like if I go back, okay, hold on. Okay, now watch. Just put your eyes on Trudeau. Listen.
Prime Minister, give it to them.
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister Finance.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservative leader doesn't usually give press conferences. That's why it's understandable that he goofed yesterday, and he admitted his true plan. He said, we're going to cut 2 programs for sure and more beyond that.
Shame.
So now
He's
we
in a
all know the
bad
Conservative plan is one of
bad
cuts.
situation, brother.
They're going to cut that school food program.
He's not
that's gonna
looking
feed
too well, my
400,000
guy.
kids. They're going to cut dental care this...
Yo, Canada's, he's not looking too well, man. What did you guys do to him? He's not looking too well. I never seen Trudeau look like this. I never ever seen him look like that. He ain't looking too well. He's looking. You guys are gonna make him go crazy, man. For him to get out there and defend the same thing every day, and say the same, bro. He's not looking well. Bro, I'm starting to have a little empathy for him. He don't look well in this photo, bro. Okay. I'm gonna play it.
Is provided care to 1 million Canadians. They're going to cut pharmacare. They're going to cut early learning and childcare. But we won't let them.
That's right.
He looks like he's rattled, bro. He looks like he is rattled. Just how his eyebrows are like. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think he is. Well, of course, but he looks rattled. He doesn't. I have a good eye for to catch these kind of, but he does look. Because remember, allegedly, his MPs are signing. Oh, hold on, let's get the perfect photo. Allegedly, his MPs, his own even his own MPs want him to resign. Even his own, oh, fuck. Even his own people in his government wants him to resign. And so I've been covering it, and I'm like, yo, man, that's crazy. They gave him okay, so the bloc Quebec, that's Quebec. They gave him a deadline. Allegedly, his MPs, had this letter. We're trying to sign on this letter to say, yeah, we need a new, right? Bro, it's over. It's done. And if you think he's not looking at what's going on in America and trying to figure it out, because remember, I think if Trump wins, he resigns. Automatically, he resigns. But if Kamala wins, he's going to say, yeah, and try to get it, because Kamala's, the Democrat Party's on their side, Democrat/liberal. But he doesn't look too well, man. He does not look well in this photo, bro. Right? I wish we could get more of that, but it's okay. He just doesn't look well. The most attractive woman of Canada. Imagine have to wake up to a face like this every morning. No, thank you.
He admitted his true plan. He said, we're going to cut 2 programs for sure and more beyond that. So now we all know the Conservative plan is one of cuts. They're going to cut that school food program that's going to feed 400,000 kids. They're going to cut dental care that's provided care to 1 million Canadians. They're going to cut pharmacare. They're going to cut early learning and childcare. But we won't let them.
That's right.
The Honourable Member for Avignon, La Métis Matane Matapédia. Mr. Speaker, at the Bordeaux prison in Montreal, the correctional officers say that there are so many drones that fly overhead that it's like an airport.
Damn.
They carry knives, drugs, and they smuggle in cell phones for the criminals in prison. And
what? What is they doing?
In Ottawa, they just sit back and sit idly by. Quebec is calling for phone signal jammers, and correctional officers want the same thing in federal prisons, but nothing is moving, except for the drones, of course. What is the minister waiting for to ban the use of cell phones in prison? The Honourable Minister of Public Safety. Mr. Speaker, on the contrary, we're not waiting. We're already rolling out a number of technologies in federal prisons. And obviously, we can't discuss the details of this technology capacity in public. I have visited some of these federal penitentiaries in Quebec, and I've seen for myself that the application of these technologies works. And I've had a great discussion with Minister Bonalde.
The Honourable Member from Kildonan and St. Paul.
Mr. Speaker, after 9 years of Liberals, crime is up and small businesses are fed up. The Liberal Prime Minister changed the laws to make it easier for violent repeat offenders to get bail.
Oh, fuck. It's defunding the police. It's defunding the police in Canada. Yo, she comes out strong, don't she? Listen to her.
The Honourable Member from Kildonan and St. Paul.
Mr. Speaker, after 9 years of Liberals, crime is up and small businesses are fed up. The Liberal Prime Minister changed the laws to make it easier for violent repeat offenders to get bail. And now break-and-enters, thefts, vandalism have become everyday realities for small businesses in Canada. Nearly 60% of small businesses in BC, for example, are being directly impacted by crime. 8 in 10 are worried about their personal safety.
Bro, they defunded the police in Canada. What is going on, bro? I don't know what this stuff is, man. Damn, man, that's crazy.
Their safety.
The Honourable Member from Kildonan and St. Paul.
Mr. Speaker, after 9 years of Liberals, crime is up and small businesses are fed up. The Liberal Prime Minister changed the laws to make it easier for violent repeat offenders to get bail. And now break-and-enters, thefts, vandalism have become everyday realities for small businesses in Canada. Nearly 60% of small businesses in BC, for example, are being directly impacted by crime. 8 in 10 are worried about their personal safety. This has cost businesses thousands of dollars, driving up costs of food and goods for their customers. When will the Liberals reverse their catch and release policy so that Canadians can shop safely and affordably once again?
The Honourable Minister of National Defence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I spent 39 years fighting crime in the city of Toronto, and one of the things I learned.
So what? He's Batman now. He's Batman. He's like Batman. I spent. Imagine saying that as your opener. I spent 25 years in Toronto fighting crime.
So that Canadians can shop safely and affordably once again.
The Honourable Minister of National Defence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I spent 39 years fighting crime in the city of Toronto.
I spent 39 years fighting crime in the city of Toronto. Who the fuck says that? What does this have to do with the price of tea in China? But anyway, this is his thing. But he said he fight crime. I believe him.
So that Canadians can shop safely and affordably once again.
He should spend another year and fight Trudeau. He should fight the crimes that Trudeau's committed. He should spend one more year to make it 40 years to fight the crimes of the illegitimate Liberal government of Trudeau. Let's do that. Come on, man. This is
the Honourable Minister of National Defence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I spent 39 years fighting crime in the city of Toronto, and one of the things I learned in that 39 years is that cops count. But, Mr. Speaker, today there are 700 fewer police officers in the city of Toronto than when I was the police chief. And those are the same cops, by the way, who fought guns and gangs, gave evidence at bail hearings, and kept our neighborhoods safe. But just like the Harper government that could cut 1,000 RCMP positions, Conservative mayors and premiers have frozen police hiring. This is the price we're all paying for reckless Conservative cuts. And if the Conservatives are looking for causation of the rising crime, look.
The honourable member for Charlebourg-Saint-Jean. This Minister of Justice has showed us that he'd rather be soft on criminals than keep children safe. Paul Arcand reports that André Fèvre, a paedophile who led a social club of child abusers, which aimed to teach people how to lure and seduce children, was...
What happened? Listen to this.
For Charlebourg-Saint-Jean. This Minister of Justice has showed us that he'd rather be soft on criminals than keep children safe. Paul Arcand reports that André Fèvre, a paedophile who led a social club of child abusers, which aimed to teach people how to lure and seduce children, was released by the parole board once again. The minister seems satisfied that experts say that his risk of reoffending is low, even though he has violated his conditions over and over the past 50 years. Is the minister aware of this? And if so, why is he not doing anything? The Honourable Minister of Public Safety.
Wow.
Mr. Speaker, my colleague knows very well that the parole board is independent. It's at arm's length from the government. It makes good decisions, and what it takes seriously is public safety. We're not going to comment on individual cases that are before the
What
parole
is Trudeau
board.
doing?
We trusted the
Why is he
board's
not
work.
engaged?
And however, as my
What about
minister
the rules of
my colleague, the
engagement,
Minister
Trudeau?
of
What you
Defense,
doing,
said,
man?
we are very...
The man ain't even paying attention to what his own MP is talking. And this woman has the resting bitch face on. Like, what's going on, man? Like, I never seen this shit growing up as a kid, man. Like, everybody's just comatose. Like, just tell them what to do.
Reoffending
Cogs in
is
the
low,
machine.
even though he has violated his conditions.
That woman ain't even blinking, dog. Hold on a second. This woman's not even blinking. Hold on. Look at this. Yo, check this out.
For Charlebourg-Saint-Jean.
Look.
This...
you blinked there.
This Minister of Justice has showed us that he'd rather be soft on criminals than keep children safe. Paul Arcand reports that André Fèvre, a paedophile who led a social club of child abusers, which aimed to teach people how to lure and seduce children, was released by the parole board once again. The minister seems satisfied that experts say that his risk of reoffending is low, even though he has violated his conditions over and over the past 50 years. Is the minister aware of this? And if so, why is he not doing anything? The Honourable Minister of Public Safety. Mr. Speaker, my colleague knows very well.
What is Trudeau's not even engaged in this at this point. Look at this.
That the parole board is independent. It's at arm's length from the government. It makes good decisions, and what it takes seriously is public safety. We're not going to comment on individual cases that are before the parole board.
Imagine being a woman. Like, okay, well, not imagine being a woman. Imagine you have to work with someone that is so unpopular. Like, when you say the person's name, like, people get goosebumps. If you say his name, they literally get goosebumps. And these people have to sit with him, talk with him, and believe the lies of the Democratic liberal machine. I couldn't do that job, bro. But she's getting paid.
Trusted the board's work, and however, as my colleague, the Minister of Defense, said, we are very surprised to see how many cuts the Conservatives have made to the RCMP and the CBSA, and now they claim to want to fight crime gangs.
From Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan.
After 9 years of NDP Liberals, taxes are up, costs are up, crime is up, and time is up. Now, Liberals have allowed fraudulent, non-Indigenous insiders and shell companies to steal contracts that had been earmarked for Indigenous businesses. Now that companies like Canadian Healthcare Agency and Dalian Enterprises, who got over $100 million each, have been removed from the Indigenous business list, they should pay back the money that had been set aside for Indigenous companies. When will this government get our money back from bad actors who pretended to be Indigenous?
Man, Canada's in a bad position, man. So that's this is just at the end of it. Let's go. I want to see what we got. So we played the Biden clip. This is man bleeding from the face, unconscious, struggle with Peel. I'm not gonna play that. I mean, this is crazy. There's Alex Jones, Trump again. People can't afford groceries or the rent, comma. Let's start with this. I come from the middle class. That's a response. Let's play it again.
What's your message to Michigan voters in terms of the economy? We have auto workers who are being laid off.
To a response.
Fear that they might be laid off. The average person can't afford groceries or their rent. And recent polls in Michigan show that Michigan voters believe that Donald Trump would do a better job with handling the economy and bringing jobs back. What do you say to that?
Well, let's start with this. I come from the middle class, and I'll never forget where I come from.
Oh,
My mother worked
Lord.
Very hard. She, by the time I was a teenager, was able to save up for our first home. And I understand.
What's your message to...
Bro, how is she likable? How can anyone like this woman? That's her response, is to smile and repeat the same Democratic machine's talking point.
What's your message to...
I told you before,
in terms of
you
the
go fuck
economy?
about you.
We have
They
auto
don't
workers
care.
who are being laid off. And
That's not
those who
a
fear that
response
they
to
might
me.
be laid off.
I'm
The
sorry.
average person can't afford groceries or their rent.
I come from the
And
middle class
recent
is her
polls in
response.
Michigan show that Michigan voters believe that Donald Trump would do a better job with handling the economy and bringing jobs back. What do you say to that?
Well, let's start with this. I come from the middle class, and I'll never forget where I come from. My mother worked very hard. She, by the time I was a teenager, was able to save up for our first home. And I...
And so, how delusional has Trudeau become? So, on a scale from 1 to 10, how delusional has Trudeau become? Here you go.
This is your first sit down, I think, since all this happened. You're not resigning. You're staying on as Liberal
I had a
leader.
press conference yesterday,
Yes.
I am determined to lead this party into the next election because we need to put all our tools together, and I am actually really excited about this fight. I think the opportunity to allow Canadians to make the best possible choice for the future is what we all get into politics for, to make a difference, to pitch an argument, and to connect with Canadians in a way that gives them optimism and a realistic plan for the future. That's what we're in the business of, and that's what I'm excited about.
Absolutely. This is your first sit down.
And they got a transgender flag in the back, or a gay flag. Okay, I'm going to call another video call by far as January 6th. Okay, Kamala's telling you guys, don't use immigration as a way to scare up votes in the election. So don't talk about what's real. Politicians need to stop using... Bro, do you know how stupid this sounds? Politicians need to stop using immigration as a way to scare up votes in an election. We must come together to solve. When I am president, we will quickly remove those who arrive here unlawfully. But you haven't done that yet.
Politicians have got to stop treating immigration as an issue to scare up votes in an election. Politicians have got to stop treating immigration as an issue to scare up votes in an election. And instead, treat it as the serious challenge that it is, that we must finally come together to solve. I will work.
I don't believe nothing she says. Nothing she says. Oh, it was a car accident. Look at this. Oh, they're gonna race. I mean, I think he shifted like slower. The first gear is the most powerful one, but Call of Duty Black Ops. Oh my God, Shannon Sharp, you had this woman on your podcast. Really? Are you gonna ask questions?
But what he would do that is about eliminating or
So Shannon
reducing the
Sharp,
ability.
I know I know you're an NFL football player. I know you have a podcast and all, but really, you had her on, man.
Of corporations.
And he can have whoever he wants on, right? Like I'm a Trump guy, but I'm just saying he can do whatever he wants. But no, no. I mean, she's not gonna answer nothing. That's
To be required to pay overtime pay.
So you could work and the corporations wouldn't have to pay you for it.
For overtime.
Who work for free?
That's right. And overtime means you are actually working a longer day, which means you are more tired.
Right.
Which means it requires.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Let's go to his channel, Club Shay Shay. You guys want me to show you why I can't believe it? Because the comments is going to tell you the truth. Look at that. Updated today. You ready for it? Interview? Yep, here you go. She did, I don't know how much she did. Let's see how long she did. 1 day ago, okay? It got 1 million views. Joe Rogan and Donald Trump got 35 million views. Right? I digress. It's okay if you want to talk to someone to understand them. There's nothing wrong with that, but she's just not going to. I can't see it. I can't see it. And then they do this shit like this. Shit like, hold on, can we pause that? Then, right, like, then they'll do stupid shit like this. Is this the same video? Yeah, this is the same. Right? So at the beginning of the video, it's saving democracy. He let the Democrat Party do this. And it shows two women voting in the ballots. Look, watch.
Thank you.
Due to calls for some
Saving democracy from Donald Trump. Right? Like, and then it puts them there. Okay. Oh, Shannon, I'm surprised. But I mean, you do talk to the celebrities, Fat Joe and them, Carl Anthony. I mean, I'm surprised but not surprised. As you can see, I'm subscribed. I'll still subscribe. But fuck, man, it's not good. I hope he didn't turn off the comments. We looking for some comments now. Oh, he didn't turn them off. 58,000. Let's go to newest. Here you go. You guys ready? Look, I'm gonna read them for you. After 2 minutes of hearing her talk, I had to see the comment section out of anxiety. She only has to do 39 more interviews like this to mass the number of views Trump got on Rogan. I just said that. VP Harris for president. This is real? She hasn't accomplished anything except riding her knees to vice president. They want a serious reaction to this, Sharp. You're a traitor. They're calling him a traitor in his comment section. I told you, man. I'm not going to go that far to call Shannon Sharp a traitor. I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. But I understand what he's doing. Like, the question becomes, is he going to have Trump on? Is he going to talk to Trump? Is he going to actually have a conversation with Trump? Right? Like, everybody's picking which side they're on, right? Because the line is drawn in the sand. Okay? So, anyway, I digress on that. She lost. Go Kamala. One more week of being unburdened by what I hope does not be. Was it Uncle Sherman is not a blood relative. He's a friend. So, okay, I don't know. I couldn't make it. Someone said I couldn't make it 5 minutes. Her voice is so annoying. And she still didn't answer any question. I'm reading that one again. I couldn't make it 5 minutes. Her voice is so annoying. And she didn't answer any questions. 2 likes. What do I say? Bro, someone said, "What the? Oh, sorry, WTF? Is this laugh disgusting?" I don't always grow up. Someone said, "I don't always grow up in a middle class neighborhood, but when I do, I'm unburdened what has been, inspired to see what can be in this comment section." Someone said, "Despicable, deranged Democrats." They're not gonna get a vote from me ever. Here you go. Rogan has 39 million views and counting with Trump and Kamala. Sorry, Rogan has 39 million views and counting with Trump. And Kamala has just a little over a million with Shay Shay. With Shay Shay. I think we know who the American people want to be the next commander-in-chief, just saying. She is the only African American to come out of India and Jamaica. Truly astonishing. They get Rogan, we get Shannon. They get Rogan, we get Shannon. Straight to comments. He loaded up on commercial. Look, he loaded up on commercial. He was hoping this blew up. Shannon is very fake with this whole interview. Someone says Shannon is very fake with the whole interview because it's Kamala. That's why. So I'm not going to play it, of course, but she did an hour and he's asking questions. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. I think you got this one wrong, Shannon. I do. I mean, okay, so the question, would I say that if she went on Rogan? Well, I know what I'm going to get when she goes on Rogan. Rogan's going to have a conversation with her that's going to last from anywhere from 1 hour to about 3 hours. And it's just a conversation. She's not willing. Kamala Harris is not willing to have a real conversation about real things. She did 1 hour and 3 minutes. Okay? Let's go to Rogan. Let's go to Rogan. So anyway, 2 more things and then I'm done. Okay? 2 more things and then I'm done. Okay? Because Rogan invited her. Look, 39 million views. And they went for 3 hours. 3-hour conversation. And he got 39 million views. Okay, so we got that. And Trump sounded pretty good, man. I'm not gonna, you guys, you're like, oh yeah. He sounded like a smart man, somebody that is competent, not incompetent. Just saying. Let's go to this. Kamala. I gotta get something but they said that. Okay, so here you go. This is by Politico, right? They saying Kamala rejected the Rogan interview. Look, Rogan says, oh no, sorry, I apologize. Rogan says he rejected Harris's campaign's interview conditions. That's what it is. So he rejected bro, I can't believe I'm doing this, man. Rogan rejected the interview with Kamala because her campaign had interview conditions. It says the Harris campaign has not passed on doing the podcast. Podcast host Joe Rogan declined the Harris campaign's offer to record an interview with Kamala Harris on Tuesday because he would have had to travel to her and they only wanted to do an hour. Okay? But the interview isn't off the table. Okay, cool. The Harris campaign has not passed on doing the podcast, Rogan said on X. Let's go to his post. That'll probably be better. Okay, here it is. And it got 16.4 million views on X. He said, also, for the record, the Harris campaign has not passed on doing the podcast. They offered a date for Tuesday, but I would have had to travel to her, and they only wanted to do an hour. I strongly feel the best way to do it is in the studio in Austin. My sincere wish is to just have a nice conversation and get to know her as a human being. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think if Shannon Sharp is doing that, I think that's okay too. So you know what I mean? But I'm surprised, not surprised, I guess. But I think it's okay. He says, I really hope we can make it happen. Elon Musk tweeted, he said, good clarification. I would definitely watch the podcast. Hour 2 would be, and then he put an emoji. Right? Charlie Kirk said, America deserves 3 hours with Kamala and Joe Rogan unscripted. Hope it happens and she stops trying to dictate the terms. You have a format. It works. She should stop trying to change it, just like America. Right? Trump did it with Trump did it on your terms, which was fair. Harris should also. I suspect her campaign will use this as an excuse to avoid a real interview and blame you for being unreasonable. So anyway, we'll see. I know he's gonna have JD Vance on, I think, tomorrow, so I'm gonna be watching that one. That's gonna be a good one too, because JD Vance can he just destroys the narrative, man. Yeah, he destroys the narrative, man. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And I guess they're having some kind of search result issues. Let's see if he had posted anything here. Yeah, so that was it there. Okay. But anyway, that's JRE. But I think some people just can't change their mind, man. They're just not going to be able to do it. I'm sorry. You can put so much truth in front of them, they're not going to be able to change their minds. I don't think so. Well, this guy's in front of me just bet his entire bank account on Kelsey for Trump to win the election at Madison Square Garden. Okay, cool. Hopefully he wins. Nothing wrong with that. Officer confronts worker who said, "I don't serve cops." I played the Biden video. Guess who this homeowner is voting for? I mean, these are pretty dope.
You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say...
Looks dope. You know, Biden's doing the line Biden thing. Okay. Yeah, I played that one. What else we got? Played that one. I mean, look what this woman said. Almost 48 hours since I had an abortion. I don't know how true that is. But we continue on. Tomorrow's gonna be, any day from now until the election. It's gonna be crazy. No purpose, carry no child. Life is too costly. I covered that one. Two more to the door to the sales. Defrauding plant-based milk deposit did on Brampton teen facing charges. Suspect charge in COVID vaccine database fraud investigation. Okay. Let's go to some Reddit stuff. Let's pull that up. See if we can get some. I mean, I seen some stuff here, but I can't get to it all. I've got a couple more minutes here, but they saying 75,000 Americans at the eclipse or ellipse. I don't know, ellipse for Kamala. Okay, cool. Hopefully she win. But I want Trump to win. I hope so. Free Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon is free man. He lost a lot of weight too. He lost a lot of weight in jail. I don't know what's going on. Bravo to anyone who can leave Steve Bannon speeches like this inquisitive patriot managed to do. Was it loud white men for Kamala? I mean, it's pretty lame. Pretty lame. A Trump supporter was arrested today for encouraging Republican people to stay in the early voting line repeatedly and block the line in order to discourage Democratic voters. She was arrested. Here you go. They're losing their mind.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. You locked her up?
Next stream you can show me the Trump.
That is insane.
Yeah, Nathan, he said, want to see the best Trump video ever? Yeah, next stream that I'll do tomorrow, you can show me.
Man.
You can post it in the chat, and I'll take a look at it.
It's gonna be.
Take a look at it for sure.
Frenzy turns.
So, it's such an honor to be.
That's what I wanted.
Israeli.
Yes.
If you don't want to be called Nazis, stop doing
it. Oh, this is crazy. Look at this. This is on. Trump team scrambles to limit fallout from vile rally. That's CNN's headline. Now listen to the disagreements. Watch the.
Want to be called Nazis? Stop doing.
You're
you
called
stop
an
saying-
you've been called an anti-Semite more than anyone else at this table.
Yeah.
And people will
By
sit there
you.
and no, by me. I never called you an anti-Semite. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying I don't.
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians. I'm used to it. It's
Yeah,
fine.
well, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is
Did
that
you just say I should die?
You
should not.
No, I
Did
said
you just say
no,
I should be killed?
No, I did not
Live on
say that. I said,
CNN?
no, I did not say that.
Hold on, hold on.
Did your guest just say
No, I
I should be
did
killed?
not.
On live TV.
Bro, I think a civil war is coming, bro. I've